Hello and welcome to Microsoft Excel tutorial from IT. And this is tutorial number 50, and in this tutorial we're going to use the if function. So let's get started. Okay, in this particular video we are going to do some kind of calculation of results. So our rule is that if the score is 70 or above, then you pass, else you fail. So we have to calculate the result. So let's see how to use the if function for that. So I can simply click on insert function, and from this list you can say select the function and click on OK. Or you can go on to the formulas tab. Under the logical category you just select if and you get the if function dialog box. Now you can see the definition of if function. It says that checks whether a condition is met and returns one value if true and other value if false. So you can see it requires three arguments. The first argument, it requires a logical condition, and if it evaluates to true it's going to return this value, and if it evaluates to false it's going to return this value. So in our case the condition is that if the score is less than 40, less than 70, then I say it's fail. And now you can see I'm not putting this thing in double quotes. As soon as I press tab, Excel automatically puts it for me. And if the condition is false, then I want to display pass. So this is how I can write it. Other way could be the other way around. I can reverse the condition. If I say if your marks is greater than or equal to 70, then you pass, else fail. So both are fine. So it's your personal preference how you want to write it. And now if I click on OK, and you get the result, and now I can fill it down, and you can see these two got failed. Now what we have done as of now is that how much is the passing score that we have hard coded in our formula. So in future if anyone wants to change that, we will have to change in each and every formula. So the best practice is that all these business rules, they should be written somewhere in the cell, and our formula should reference to those cells. So let's see how can we do that. So let's insert some space over here, and then I say over here passing score, and that is 70. And then I wanna use the formula over here. So if I delete this and I say insert function if, and then the logical condition this time is gonna be this value is greater than equal to this value, and then is pass, else fail, and click on OK. So we are getting the result correct. And if I fill it down, you see over here is that this guy is fail, this guy is fail, and also this guy is fail. Now the reason behind this is if you just double click over here, and if you see the formula, if you see the cell reference, this is fine, 71, we are looking for the score of Blake. But if you see that the cell we are checking for the passing score, it should point to this, and it is pointing to this. So the problem is over here is as I'm copying the formula down, the references are also moving down. So what we want to do is for this particular cell it's perfect, but I don't want that the cell reference for this particular cell should move down. So what I need to do is I need to fix this cell. And if you remember from the referencing modes video, we talked about the type of references: relative reference, absolute reference, and mixed reference. So in this particular case we need to at least fix the row by putting a dollar before the row number. So if I go over here and if I put the dollar before the row number, so row number is 1, so if I put dollar over here, so I'm fixing the row. So when I move down it doesn't change. So now I can see it's working perfectly fine for each and every student. The passing score is all pointing to the same cell, row number 1. So now it's working perfectly fine. Now moving on to the concept of cell naming. If you remember, we talked about in the previous video how to give a name to a cell, so we can do that also. So if I go over here and I say I want to give a name to the cell, and the name should be passing score, we can use in the formulas tab define names. I can click on define name, and Microsoft Excel is suggesting that give the name to this passing underscore based on what label I had, and I click on OK. And now what I can use is I can use that formula over here. So I can say I can select all these cells. I don't need to rewrite that formula, I can just simply apply that name. So I say apply name, and I have only one name, passing score, and I click on OK, and that name got applied. Now you see formula is neat and clean. if B4 is greater than equal to passing score, then you are pass, else you are fail. So this is how we can use this if function to do some kind of comparison, and then based on that gonna do some decision. Now let's take one more example. So here I have regions. East, I have already created a custom list, so I can fill it down. And then we have sales in different quarters, so I can fill it down to quarter 4. And then I'll be putting in some random values equal to, I'll be using rand between, and give me some random values between 5,000 and 10,000. Control enter. And because this is a function that every time I make changes to my sheet, it's gonna reevaluate it, so I don't want that. So I'm just gonna copy and paste the values. So just Control C, Control Alter V, that is paste special, and paste the values. And if you don't know, we have already discussed about paste special, so go back and check those videos. Okay, so now you can see these are no more a function. There's no more a function, it's a static value. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to do the calculation of total. So this is total. How to calculate the total? Alter equal, enter, and then I can fill it down. Now I'm gonna put a condition over here, is that if your sale is more than 30,000, then only you get 2% commission. So in this case, what I can do is I can calculate the commission. So commission, I can use again if function. So I'll be saying insert function if. Okay, so in this case again the formula is gonna be if the total sales is greater than or equal to 30,000 and this particular guy is evaluating to false, then I want to do the calculation. So if this is above 30%, then I say it is whatever sales you have done multiplied by 2%, and if not, then 0. And I click on OK, and then I fill it down. So you can see only this particular guy is getting the commission. So this is how we can do the calculation. Now again over here, if I want to reference to a cell, I can have a cell over here that says that what is the goal for your commission. It is 30,000 and commission percentage is 2%. So these two are business rule, that what is your goal and how much is commission percentage. Now I need to rewrite this formula over here, so I can say insert function, and before that let's give names to these cells. So I can select this and say create from selection. We discussed that in the cell names video. So take the names from the left column, click on OK, and now I can see that this particular guy is goal and this is commission. So now I can do the comparison, that insert a function if, and if the total is greater than or equal to the goal, then if yes, the commission would be your total multiplied by the commission percentage. So total multiplied by commission, and if not, you're gonna get 0. Click on OK and fill it down. So you can see the formula is pretty neat and clean. If F5 is greater than equal to goal, then F5 multiplied by commission, that is 2%, else 0, and enter. So this is how we can do the calculation. You can try some more values. If I enter over here, suppose I enter 7,000 and this is 10,000, and you get some commission over here. So this is how we can use this if function to do some calculations. You can try out some more examples. So it's just pretty easy to use if. So hope you found this video useful. If you have any other questions or comments, please post in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.